Did you know a single missing piece of paper could literally cost you your home? Or that a digital glitch is all that stands between you and a massive real estate nightmare? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the absolute bedrock of real estate ownership, Galveston County land records. We're going to show you exactly how to find, pull, and interpret these critical documents using every tool available.
Think about it. Have you ever misplaced your original property deed? Or, hey, maybe you're a real estate investor eyeing a juicy foreclosure or a tax auction property, and you desperately need to know exactly who actually owns it and what hidden liens might be attached. When millions of dollars and people's livelihoods are on the line, guessing just isn't an option. You absolutely need the official public record.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with why property deeds matter, then navigate the county clerk jurisdictions. We'll look at the two digital archives, break down the step-by-step AVS search rules, cover some alternative search methods, and finally wrap up with interpreting records and some crucial disclaimers. All right, let's jump straight into part one, why property deeds matter. Okay, so a major point of confusion, even for people who've been around the block, is the difference between a deed and a title. Look at it this way. A deed is the actual recorded paper document that physically transfers ownership from one person to another. Title, on the other hand, is the legal concept of ownership itself. You don't hold a title to a house the way you hold a car title. Instead, you take title by receiving and officially recording a deed. A proper title search means examining the entire historical chain of those recorded deeds to make absolutely sure the ownership is completely clear. Moving right along to Section 2. Navigating county clerk's jurisdictions. Now, here's a super common mistake. A lot of folks go straight to the Galveston Central Appraisal District website trying to prove who owns a property. But here's the thing. The appraisal district is just an independent subdivision, and their only job is assessing property valuations for taxes. Their records do not count as a legal registry of land title. If you want the actual legal proof of ownership, the warranty deeds, the deeds of trust, the liens, you have to go to the Galveston County Clerk. Currently, that office is held by Dwight D. Sullivan, and they are the chief recorder of the county's official public records.
Next up, Section 3, the two digital archives.
Galveston County basically divides its digital history into two completely different systems. On one side, we have CoFile Quick Links. This system is kind of a time capsule. It houses historical indices from the era of Texas sovereignty all the way up through 1994. It specifically holds digitized copies of historical Commissioner's Court Minute Index books. Then, on the other side, we have the AVA platform, powered by Fiddler Technologies. This one is your modern, centralized repository. It's updated daily with the active business of the clerk's office, but it also contains property documents going all the way back to 1840. So knowing exactly which era you're researching will tell you which of these two portals you need to be in. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Section 4, Step-by-Step AVA Search Rules. To actually unlock the AVA system, you really have to master its specific syntax, because it can be pretty picky. If you're searching by name, you absolutely must enter the name spelled out with a middle initial. So don't just type John Doe. You literally have to type Doe John A. If you're looking for easements, you type Vol 01 up to Vol 23 right in the name box. For regular deeds, search Vol A through Vol 930. And for deeds of trust, which are what secure loans, you have to use underscores in the document number box, something like .vol_279. The good news? Capitalization doesn't matter, but if you miss an underscore or that middle initial, the system will just blankly tell you the record doesn't exist. Let's actually walk through a quick mock search so you can see this in action. Imagine you're researching a potential investment property. First, you access the AVA Fiddler web portal through the Galveston County Clerk's website. Now, let's say you want to see if the current owner, John A. Doe, has any active mortgages. You drop Doe John A. into the last name box. But, well, maybe John Doe is a busy guy and has bought 50 properties in Galveston. To narrow that down, you jump to Step 3 and use the start and end date fields to restrict your search to just, say, the last 5 years. Boom, you've isolated the exact deed of trust you need. Okay, moving to Section 5, Alternative Record Search Methods. Sometimes you just need to talk to a real human being, right? Or maybe you need a legally certified copy for a court filing. In that case, you can visit the county clerk in person at their main office on 59th Street in Galveston or their branch office on Calder Road in League City. If you're more old school, you can just mail a request to their P.O. box, and the statutory fees are actually very reasonable. It's just $1 per page for standard copies. If you need that official certification stamp, just add $5.
Now, if you want to bypass the courthouse trip entirely and you really don't want to wrestle with that Avia database syntax, there are private services out there. For a flat fee of $45, third-party services like U.S. title records will just do all the heavy lifting for you. They'll isolate the exact recorded vesting instrument for your property and shoot the official recorded deed directly to your email as a PDF. Honestly, it's a fantastic option for due diligence if you value your time more than saving that $1 per page county fee. Now, let's talk about a completely different way of interacting with deeds, acquiring them through a Galveston County tax auction. These sheriff sales are open to the public, but they have some very strict rules. First, you've got to register on the real auction website and put down a 5% deposit of your total bids via wire transfer. Now, if you win, you don't just walk away with the deed. You have to submit an application and a $10 fee to the tax office to get a certificate of eligibility. Finally, you take that certificate plus a $30 cashier's check straight to the sheriff's department so they can prepare and record your shiny new deed. And finally, Section 6, Interpreting Records and Disclaimers. Remember a minute ago when we talked about how strict the county is? Yeah, that applies to filing deeds too. Texas Property Code actually requires a valid grantee address on all conveyances. If you file a deed and, oops, you forget to include the buyer's address, the county doesn't just reject it. They literally penalize you. The financial penalty is calculated as either $25 or double the standard recording fee, whichever happens to be higher. It's a perfect example of how unforgiving public record keeping can be if you forget to cross your T's. And hey, if you're that investor who just bought a deed at a tax auction, don't pop the champagne just yet. This timeline reveals a massive caveat in Texas law: the statutory redemption period. If you buy a property without exemptions, the previous owner actually has up to 1 full year to buy it back from you. They just have to pay what you paid plus a 25% premium. But if that property had a homestead or agricultural exemption, they have up to 2 full years to redeem it. So holding that deed doesn't guarantee unquestioned permanent ownership until that clock fully runs out. Which brings us to the absolutely most important point of all today. The sources we've explored make this incredibly clear. Nothing we've discussed here is a substitute for professional legal advice. This explainer is meant to empower you to navigate the Galveston County databases, find the deeds, and understand the basic structure of title searches. But when it comes to interpreting complex chain of title issues, dealing with unrecorded liens, or handling community property disputes, you need a licensed attorney. DIY research is super powerful, but it definitely has its limits. So we've covered the difference between deed and title, the unique quirks of the AVA search system, and the offline methods to get exactly the records you need. You are now armed with the exact same strategies used by professionals to navigate the real estate records of Galveston County. So now that you hold the treasure map to these property records, what hidden history or lucrative future investment will you uncover first? Get out there, start searching, and we'll see you in the next explainer.